Is it worth that much money? Hey guys, it's me Sylvia, back with another video.
Welcome back to my channel.
Or should I say, welcome back to my channel? Chanel? See what I did there? Because today we're doing a full face of Chanel makeup. And let me tell you, it costs a pretty penny. It is so expensive. I was wondering why I hadn't done this video yet, and now I know why. Because who wants to spend that much money? Nobody, let's be honest. So we've got a full bag. I literally got one item for each step of my full face of makeup. So I think I spent, oh my God, I spent $660 US, which is like $848 Canadian. I had to Google it because your girl can't do math. But that is so expensive. Please, Chanel, next time sponsor me. But it's okay because today's video actually is sponsored by Audible. Huge shout out to Audible for partnering up with me on this video because dang, your girl needs a paycheck after spending all that money on Chanel. And they've got my back, so thank you, Audible. Audible basically is just like listening to books instead of actually reading them, which is amazing, especially with summer around the corner. You can do all those summer activities like road trips, hiking, going for a run. If you do that kind of thing, I know I'm trying to do a little bit more of that. So for sure, Audible is gonna be my best friend this summer and really enhance those type of activities. I actually first started my Audible account a while back. I still have my Audible account to this day and use it pretty regularly. So you guys can have your 30-day trial with your first audiobook free as well if you go to audible.com/Sylvia. Again, that's audible.com/SYLVIA, my name. Or to make it easier, you can also text, if you're from the US, text the code Sylvia, SYLVIA, to 500-500. Code Sylvia, SYLVIA, to 500-500. So then that way you can start your trial, see if you like it. I really liked it, so I ended up keeping my account and now they're sponsoring me, so woohoo! Right now I'm listening to Perfect is Boring by Tyra Banks and her mama. It's actually narrated by the two of them, so it makes it way more interesting because I'm obsessed with Tyra Banks, so the whole time she's just like talking to me. I love it. I swear I've watched like every episode of America's Next Top Model. But anyways, it's basically her autobiography, talks about how her mom really helped her in her career, and it's like super inspirational and also funny, and you can hear her story, and because I'm like so obsessed with her, it just like has me in it. So that's what I'm listening to right now, but let me know what you guys are currently listening to because I do want to start listening to some other books too, so give me some suggestions down below. Thank you. So check out the description, all information will be down there, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. I have their BLANC, the Light Creator Brightening Makeup Base. It says to shake the bottle well, so let's do that. It comes in two shades. One's more pink, it's called Rosé, and one's more yellow, Mimosa, which is the one that I got. So let's apply right from the nozzle. And the yellow one is supposed to help with unevenness and correct the appearance of shadows apparently, so we'll see about that. Let's just rub that in with our hands. So it's a sheer coverage, even though it has a little bit of that color to it. You can't really see it once you blend that in. Wow, it actually has quite a strong fragrance to it. So it has SPF 40 in it. It's supposed to be lightweight, oil-free, and it's supposed to just extend the wear of your foundation while giving you a really nice glow underneath your makeup. So I really like the way it made my skin look after applying. I think it looks really, really good, and I think the foundation will look beautiful over top of that. And also, I don't know that I can really see that I got rid of shadows and unevenness. I feel like that's maybe something you can see over time. I don't know. But I do like that it has SPF in it. I think that's very important to protect your skin. And now let's see how the foundation applies over top. So for foundation, I'm trying out their Ultrawear Flawless Foundation. I got it in the shade 30 Beige because my neck and my body are self-tanned right now. It's obviously not gonna match my skin on my face, but it's gonna match up my body, so no judging, okay? So I'm gonna apply it directly on my beauty blender and spread that around my face. It's supposed to have a buildable medium to full coverage. It's supposed to be extremely lightweight with a matte finish. Matte finish it says, but like a second skin effect, so I'm assuming it's still, you know, gonna look like your skin. That looks beautiful, especially over top of that glowing primer. This has a scent to it too. For sure it does. It smells like perfume, but I'm not hating it. I actually kind of like it. So after 3 pumps, I have one more for my forehead, so you are kind of using quite a bit. It's definitely applying really nicely. It is super lightweight. I'm just like applying a thin layer and it's giving me pretty good coverage. So this is one layer and it seems to have dried down pretty quickly, and it's dried to a matte finish, like it's not transferring on my hands or anything, but even though it's a matte finish, you can see it still has a natural kind of luminosity to it, which it says that's what it's gonna do. So far it is pretty much living up to its claims. Right now I would say it's more medium coverage because you can see it's not covering up my pimple right there, and you can still see a bit of my freckles peeking through. So let's see if we can build the coverage to more full on my problem area areas, that's giving us more coverage for sure. So after applying more on some of my problem areas, I think it definitely becomes full coverage. And I think right now my skin looks very, very good. This is definitely a foundation right up my alley. Medium to full coverage, natural matte finish, lightweight, feels nice on my skin, doesn't feel heavy or gross, but we still have to see kind of how it wears throughout the video. So next up is concealer. I picked up their Longwear concealer in the shade 20 Beige. It's just a little bit lighter than my foundation, just because I like to brighten my under eyes. So let's apply that. It looks like it has a doe foot applicator. It says that it is a medium to full coverage, just like the foundation. And this one is supposed to be a light to medium coverage. And it says it's a gel-based texture, which I was intrigued by, but it doesn't feel any different than any other concealer, I'll be honest. Let's just blend that out with my beauty blender, blending out really nicely. For sure, it is a more light to medium because you see my shadows and like that darkness still kind of seeping through. It's a natural finish, it looks like, not super matte. And that lighter shade is doing a good job of brightening though. I'm gonna add a little bit more just right in the inner corners and leave that there to dry down just the tiniest bit before I blend out to see if it gives me a little bit more coverage on the inner corner part there. I'm also gonna apply a little bit on the center of my forehead here to brighten down the bridge of my nose. I think a more lightweight concealer is really great for these areas because it's not gonna add cakiness or thickness on top of the spots where you already have your foundation, but it's still gonna do a great job brightening those areas up. Blending that out once it's dried down a little bit. Oh yeah, that's definitely given me a little bit more coverage. So concealer is completely applied. I really like it. It's given me the coverage that I want after I applied the second layer there. It's also a very natural finish, goes well with the foundation, blended out beautifully. I think my base is looking bomb so far. I'm excited. Maybe the money isn't going to waste because not hating it. Not hating it at all. So next up is brows. I have the Defining Longwear eyebrow pencil in the shade 806. Now it looks like it's one of those kind of thicker brow pencils with a spoolie brush. I always really like the super thin tipped precise ones, but let's give it a go and see how they turn out. Zoomed you guys in so you can see a little bit better. Let's try and imitate those small little hairs at the front here like I like to do. Product's coming off nicely. So now let's just fill in my brow. Again, because it's a bit of a thicker tip, I'm having a difficult time getting it in between my really thick brow hairs. But if you have very sparse brows, you might actually prefer a thicker brow pencil like this one because it's easier to just fill in. So you're supposed to use the flat edge to kind of fill in and then the very tip to shape, which I mean makes sense for the first time use, but after the first time, obviously that tip is going to get really dull and then you're just only going to be able to fill in, which is why I don't really like these type of brow pencils for my specific brows. So brows are done. I think I was able to create decent looking brows. Are they my favorite? No, I really like a super fine tipped pencil. You guys know this. And so I always feel like my brows turn out a little bit darker and more bold than I want with those type of pencils. But I think it is a good pencil if you like that type of brow pencil for your brows. I probably won't get much use out of it. Maybe I'll use it when I prefer a more thick, bold brow, but for now, I don't know that I like it so much. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna set my face and bake my under eye using their Natural Finish Loose Powder. It's in a really big container, so you get a lot for your money. You open it up. Ooh, it's got a puff in there. So it comes in 3 different shades. I have mine in the shade 30 Natural, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my damp beauty blender in there and just bake my under eye. Seems to be very finely milled. It's like a super fine powder. And I'm gonna press whatever's left over on my beauty blender where I get creasing, like my smile lines, above my brows here. And then I'll just press into my T-zone because I get really, really oily there. So hopefully this will help to mattify that. I also already primed my lids with eyeshadow primer because they didn't have an eyeshadow primer in stock, and I'll just dust this loose powder over top of that. So let's leave that on there while we do our eyeshadow, just in case there's any fallout or anything like that. We'll just wipe it away after. So moving on to eyeshadow. So I got the 204 Tissé Vendome eyeshadow quad. I don't really know how to pronounce that. And it comes in this little cute velvet bag. I guess that's nice if you're traveling with your makeup a lot. I never know why like the super luxurious makeup brands give you these tiny little eyeshadow things. Like you get these in dollar store compacts. Like why is this still a thing with luxurious makeup? Tell me. I will never use this. Taking up space in my compact that I don't need. But the shades in here are very pretty. They're all pretty neutral. You've got a highlight shade, crease color, lid shade, and a deepening shade. So basically all the shades you kind of need to make a look. They are all shimmers though. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll give it a shot. So I normally will highlight my brow bone with a matte shade these days, but let's go ahead and use the lightest shade in the compact. And let's apply that on our brow bone. Got some pigment right off the bat there, that's nice. I am using the little compact mirror too, which is nice because you can use the eyeshadow palette on the go. And let's also apply that right on the inner corner here. Now I'm gonna wet my brush and see how it applies that way. I wouldn't say there's too much of a difference. Obviously you get the color payoff a little quicker, but it's not crazy intense. So now let's use this shade right here, and I'm gonna use that just right on the outer corner and kind of on the crease, flicking it out and up. Okay, so this is pretty underwhelming. I mean, it's applying on there, but it's taking a few layers and it's not a very beautiful color. Like, it's kind of muddy. Now let's take the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm gonna pack that on the outer part here, staying just on the lid, not really taking it above the crease. Now this shade isn't even like much darker than the crease shade that we just used, so it kind of seems like a waste because there are only 4 shades in the palette. You would want them to kind of be a little bit more different. Now let's go in with this shade right here, and we're gonna put that all over the lid where we haven't put any shadow yet. There's not much pigment with my brush being dry, so I'm gonna spray my brush. There we go, that's a lot better. So the shadows are applied, and I'm gonna say I really cannot justify spending $61 on 4 shadows that perform like this. I'm sorry, like, they're not that bad, but for $61, like, no thank you, honey. No thank you. You can find so many palettes that have tons of different shades in them for way less than $61, and they're more pigmented than these ones. Like, these aren't terrible, but they also take a few layers. Like, for $61, you should be doing my eye look for me, basically. Also, the shades, like the darker shades, are kind of just melting together because they're not different enough. So all in all, like, not absolutely terrible. I've tried worse, but definitely not worth it in my opinion. So now let's dust off that setting powder and do the flash test to see if we have any flashback, which I'm crossing my fingers that we don't. So there is a little bit of color to that powder because you can see I feel like it did brighten even more after I dusted it off, but I'm not hating that. I actually really like it. It looks good. So now let's take a flash photo. As of right now, I don't think it has flashback. My under eye just looks regularly brightened. It looks smooth. I don't have creasing. It looks mattified. I kind of think it dried out my nose a little bit and did accentuate my blackheads. That might be better after I add some setting spray. Not too sure. My blackheads are on another level right now. Not gonna lie. I don't know, but I'm gonna say I do really like that setting powder as of right now. I feel like you get a lot in there. I don't see any flashback, and it did a really good job baking, and I feel like my under eye looks brightened and more flawless. So I like that right now. So now let's apply some mascara. I have the Le Volume de Chanel mascara, and it's supposed to add volume. I mean, it's right there in the name. The wand is interesting because it's a very big, thick wand, but it has very tiny bristles at the end of it. So that's interesting because usually the very big wands have long bristles as well. But let's apply. So it's supposed to apply the product evenly and coat every single lash to give you thickness and length, and it's also supposed to help curl your lashes. So it definitely is coating my lashes pretty evenly. Let's do the lower lash. Okay, that made my lower lashes look bomb. Mascara's on. I think I definitely preferred the way it made my lower lashes look because it made them look super thick, very long. My top lashes, I will admit, started to look a little bit clumpy once I got carried away and added a lot of layers, but I'm gonna say I really like it. With all my first impression videos, the products that I do like and enjoy, I will continue to use in future videos, so make sure you are subscribed and continuing to watch if you want to know how these products do over time, because then you'll start to see them come up in my other videos and you'll know I like it. It's good. So let's move on with blush. I would normally do bronzer at this point, but I believe the saleswoman forgot to pull it, but we have a blush. I picked out their 55 In Love powder brush. Blush. Every time, you guys, without fail, always mess that word up. Again, comes in one of those beautiful velvet bags. You've got a nice big mirror in there, and this one actually comes with a blush brush. Try saying that 10 times fast. I don't know, maybe you could get use out of that, but for me, it just kind of takes up too much room. Like, come on, it's too small. I don't like that though.
There's eyes in it, I don't like it.
So this just looks like the perfect peachy, shimmery shade for summer. So let's apply. Ooh. That applied so nicely. Did you guys see? I barely had to apply the brush on my face. It's so soft, but you still get that color there. I feel like this formula is impossible to mess up when you're applying it on your face because it's so soft. It has the tiniest bit of luminosity to it, so it really makes your cheeks have a little glow. I'm gonna just keep this up at my desk for the rest of the summer. So next up, I have the Healthy Glow Luminous color in medium, which I think is their highlight that I picked out. You got a brush in in there. Oh, that's the bronzer. What the heck? I'm just very confused. So I guess they forgot the highlight then and not the bronzer. So we have their bronzer shade in medium. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it. So let's see how that applies. Whoa, my whole face smells like Chanel. So the bronzer is definitely a similar formula to the blush where it applies very subtly. You can layer it without doing too much, and it's just very user-friendly. I feel like you're never gonna get that straight muddy line. This is warming up my face really nice. So final verdict on the blush and the bronzer, obsessed. It's impossible to mess it up. It's like undetectable. You can't really see a seam where the bronzer starts, like on the foundation. It's not muddy, it's not patchy. I didn't have to put much work in blending it out at all just because it like did all the work for me. And I'm pretty shocked at that actually. So I really think the bronzer and the blush are worth it if you're obsessed with the shades and they work well for you because the formulas are like magic. So I don't have a highlight. I believe the sales lady forgot to put it in the bag, unfortunately, but also like thanks because I didn't have to buy it, but sorry guys, no highlight today. Next up, we have one of their lipsticks, the Rouge Allure lipstick in the shade Stillness. And the packaging is very cool. You like click it, and then you can pull it out. So I guess, you know, if you have your lipstick in your bag, the cap's never gonna like fly around. That's always annoying. This is one of the most popular shades she was telling me, so that's why I went for it. It just looks like a typical nude though, which I'm down for. I'm down for an everyday nude. I mean, if it's that expensive, you wanna be using it often, right? This one's like a satin formula, very comfortable and lightweight on my lips. This actually matches my eyeshadow shade perfectly. It feels so moisturizing. Wow, it almost feels like a lip balm. It feels really good on my lips. So I put that back in, click it, and then it's not coming out. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's so creamy that it might not last very long, but I like that it was super sheer, easy to apply. I could justify spending that much money on this if it's a shade you really love and you know you're gonna use it all the time. Last up, we have a setting spray. This was the most expensive product that I bought. It was $90. I cringed. This is their HYDRA Beauty Essence Mist. It's supposed to give you a nice dewy complexion, make your makeup last longer, and just be good for your skin too because it's protecting it from any pollution and stuff in the air. So let's apply. Wow, that's a really nice mist. It's an aerosol can, has a very strong scent. Again, I'm telling you, if you don't like strong scents, you probably won't like any of the products that I'm trying in this video. So that was one of the smoothest applying setting sprays that I've ever tried because it has that aerosol mist instead of like a squirt, and I really enjoyed applying that. That felt like a spa day. So it's completely applied and it gave my skin like the skin look again. You know, there's no powderiness. Everything just melted together. It gives it that lived-in look. I would say this is like a hybrid between the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist and the MAC Fix Plus, which is like the ultimate setting spray, and that's a huge statement. Those are my two favorite setting sprays of all time, and they made a baby, and this is it. God help me, I can't afford to love this. So I'm gonna quickly apply false lashes, and that'll be the completed look. All right, guys, so this is the finished look using a full face of Chanel makeup, spending almost $700 US, almost $900 Canadian. It's insanely expensive, you guys, but was it worth it? I feel like some of the products I can justify spending myself just because if you have the money, like you can't deny a lot of the products really had great formulas. A lot of them were really high quality. They performed very well. And so if that's the case and you have the money to spend on it, it's a good makeup product. The only ones that I probably wouldn't purchase again is definitely the eyeshadow quad, just because I can't justify, there's only 4 shades in there. They weren't super great quality. I couldn't see myself doing a lot with them. The eyebrow pencil just didn't work for me, but it wasn't a bad product. But everything else I actually really enjoyed. I love the way the makeup look turned out. I feel like my skin looks absolutely amazing, so I'm very excited about that foundation. I really love that primer because I'm definitely into more of the super luminous, healthy looking skin base right now, so I think that primer is perfect for that. And my favorite product probably, believe it or not, was probably the setting spray, just because I was shocked. It made my skin look so good afterwards, pulled everything together. So that, along with the blush and bronzer, those formulas are amazing. That being said, even though a lot of these products were hits for me, don't feel like you have to spend all that money for a good blush or a good bronzer, because you don't. There are so many products out there on the market right now that are great, so many affordable options that you can still get really great quality for a lower price. But I'm not gonna lie to you and say the product isn't good just because it's expensive. If I really fall in love with like 1 or 2 of the products, I probably would rebuy. Would I rebuy everything? Probably not, because I have so many other alternatives. But that's all for today's video. Also, don't forget to check out Audible and start your free trial. Just go to audible.com/Sylvia. A huge thank you again to them for sponsoring your girl. And that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I'm just gonna wait right here while you subscribe by clicking this button right here. Go ahead, don't be shy, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. I'm gonna just wait while you do it. And then check out these other videos of mine if you ain't got enough of me yet. Let's be real, I'm addictive. Go ahead and watch these other videos. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty, just watch. Just continue watching.